Hello, and welcome to EMAN, Effectively Making a Noise. My name is Cheryl Secrest, and I am your host today. And every time this podcast has come on, I am your host. I don't know why I said today, but anyway, I am your host, Cheryl Secrest, and today I just want to tell you about the meet and greet that I was supposed to have with Daniel Ezra, a.k.a. Spencer from All American, and the trip that I took to LA to make this happen, and to also visit my aunt, who I haven't seen in a while. First of all, the way things started with the meet and greet with Daniel was that I responded to a post. I commented on a post that was on the All American official fan page, and it was the scene where he directed the scene where he and Olivia was on the Ferris wheel. And so I commented on it, and he messaged me with the screenshot of the post that I commented on and told me thank you for being a fan. So from that day in June that he replied to my comment, we started messaging each other every day. And it got to a point where he was like, I was like, well, I want to come out to LA to visit my aunt because she hasn't been well, and I want to come out and make sure she's okay. But I haven't been out there since I was a teenager, so I want to make a good trip out of it. At that point, he messaged me back and said, well, I would like to meet you and we can make that happen. So from that day, we just kept messaging each other back and forth, and I finally decided, okay, I'm gonna set this trip up. I'm gonna try to book me a trip out there, and I want to do it on my birthday, so I have a good birthday. So I booked a trip for October the 6th to leave, which October the 6th is my birthday. So I booked it to leave on that day and to come back the next Tuesday. So I put a GoFundMe up on Facebook and all over social medias so that I could get some help with, the trip that I was going to take, because I was just starting a new job, but I really didn't want to go on this trip. So I put a GoFundMe up there just to see how many people would really help. It was just to see how many would help. And the faithful few that always help me out when I asked for help, they did. But everybody else probably thought I was a little nuts because I did put in there that I was supposed to have a celebrity meet and greet. So, although I didn't get much with the GoFundMe, it didn't matter. I made it happen. I made my trip happen. And I started out October the 6th on that Friday, got to the airport. We got in the plane, got on the runway, and the pilot comes on and says, we're going to have a delay. We can't leave because we have a mechanical problem with the hydraulics of the plane. So it's going to be 10 minutes, and we're going to see if we can get it fixed. Well, 10 minutes went by, and then they came back on and said, well, we're going to have to go back to the gate, and I really don't want to drive the plane back. I'm going to get someone to come out and tow us back. So they called somebody to come tow them, but the vehicle that they sent out was a little bit smaller than it should have been to tow the airplane back. So he was like, well, we're going to have about 10 more minute wait because the vehicle they sent us is not going to work, and they're going to send us a bigger one. So it's going to be about 10 more minutes. So we sit out there on the tarmac again, another 10 minutes. Finally, we got towed back to the gate, and we were told that we were going to leave at around 8:30. Now, this was 6:30 in the morning we were supposed to pull out. So they was like, well, about 8:30 we should be able to pull out. Well, 8:30 came, 9:30 came, about 10:30 they called on the thing and said, okay, y'all can load up. We had a plane come in from Pennsylvania, and we're going to delay the people that was supposed to be on that plane. We're going to take that plane and go to LA. So we get on the plane, and we're in flight, and we're having a good time, and we made it okay. we get to LA. I got off. I had my hotel that was right close to the airport because I was like, I want my hotel close to the airport so that when I get ready to leave, I won't have to worry about it. If something happens, I'll be close enough to where it won't make me really late. So I got to the hotel and got checked in and everything. Um, that Friday night, I really didn't do anything, but they were having a party downstairs. So I went down there and just hung out just to see, talk to the lady at the restaurant and everything. So Saturday, I was supposed to do the meet and greet with Daniel. Well, get up, and before it's time, and it was early enough to where, it wasn't at last minute, but I got a text from him or a message from him that said, I'm not going to be able to do the meet and greet because we are in, the directors have called a meeting. Well, before I went, of course, all the strikes were still going on around October. It was big, hard, and heavy then. So I knew when I went there that could be a problem because of the strikes. And I knew he was a director, actor, and writer. So he was in the director strikes as well. So I said, okay. I said, we can reschedule it. He said, maybe we can reschedule it for later tonight, or we can reschedule it for another day before you leave. So I was hoping that we could do that, and that didn't happen. So I ended up coming back home, but I met with my aunt on that Sunday, and we had a good old conversation. We sit down, she cooked me dinner, we had a good time, and she was like, we've never sat down and talked. I said, no, because whenever she's here, somebody's always taking her all over to go visit everybody. So we hadn't had a chance to sit down and talk. And that conversation was really, really good because she had a chance to get caught up as to what was happening back here in Columbia, Tennessee with the rest of her family. She left at an early age from Columbia to go to LA. So she's been gone for a long time. So I had a good visit. I really did have a good visit. That was my main purpose of going, was to check on her because I know she's been ill, and I was trying to get out there and check on her. But my highlight was going to be to have a good birthday by doing a meet and greet with Daniel Ezra. And for those who think that it was not the real person, yes, it was, because when we first started communicating with each other, I made it known that I don't trust when people say that they're celebrities and that they're real. So he actually FaceTimed me and stayed on there for about 10 seconds. It wasn't long, but it was long enough for me to see that it was really him. And he wanted me to feel comfortable talking to him. So, yes, it was the real Daniel Ezra. So, after that didn't happen, everything, yeah, I was disappointed. But you know what? It's all good because he's busy. So as I'm sitting in this hotel room though, and I'm close to the airport, I didn't realize I was as close as I was to the airport. I'm looking out the window that next morning, and here comes a plane that passes right by the window. I mean, it's pretty close. So it gave me a jolt and it gave me chills because all I could think of at that time was, Lord have mercy, this is what the people on 9/11 saw. And I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I wasn't trying to be um, being so, not respecting the people who lost loved ones. It just sent chills down my spine. And I put it on Facebook. I took a picture of the plane, how close it came to the window, and I posted it on Facebook and Instagram. And I got some really um, comments coming through, and some of them were not nice, but I just, one of the comments said, how could you do that, and why would you do that? I had people I lost in the towers. Well, when that comment came through, I had to pull them down because I never want anybody to think that I'm trying to get likes, comments off of this thing. Somebody said, "Oh, this is a tacky way to get likes. And that's not what I did it for. I did it because it made me, it sent chills down my spine. So I took it off. I deleted the post from Facebook. I deleted the post from Instagram. It's not a big deal. I do not want to put anyone in an uncomfortable situation that would make them, be feel uncomfortable. So I took them down. So the Monday, I was hoping to go on the tour of Hollywood and of the houses and everything, but that didn't happen. So I'm gonna make another trip out there because I'm really wanting to do that. So Tuesday I got ready to leave and I went to LAX, and of course everything is self-service there. So me, that's my first flight alone, my first time using Uber because I Ubered everywhere, and it was my first time in 14 years actually going and being in LA. So get to the airport, everything self-service, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, as far as being crowded in LAX. And I mean, I was leaving at 5 o'clock on Tuesday, which everybody probably was at work, so that's probably why it wasn't as crowded. But I get there and I'm confused because I'm not used to doing that. Nashville International Airport, the agents had helped me check in baggage, check in, get my ticket and everything. So when I got there, nobody helped. So I'm standing there, and this lady was trying to help me out. And we printed up two boarding passes, but they weren't correct. So I done messed up two seats on the plane right there. So then I saw the agents standing around looking. All they was doing was assisting people. They wasn't helping them. They was just lead them in the right direction. So with my anxiety, I had to go over and just chill at the wall for a minute and take a few deep breaths. And I thought, somebody's going to help me. So I went over there and asked the agent, I said, would you please help me get this boarding pass correct? So she ended up helping me and everything. And then I had to go check my own luggage in. Had to get all that done, which is different. Got that done. Got on that to the gate and everything. And I was sitting there, and this little girl, she was a little Iraqi girl. And we was having a conversation. And I said, is this your first flight? She said, yeah, this is my first flight since I was a baby. And I'm like, Lord. She said, yeah. So, I was like, okay. I said, well, you're going to have a good time. This is my first flight too, by myself. So we was laughing and we was talking, having a good conversation. And so then we got on a plane and got ready to leave. The incident that happened in Nashville International about the delay, the 2-hour delay, well, got on the runway. We're sitting there. The pilot comes on and he was like, well, we're not going to be able to leave right now because we have a mechanical issue. One of the armrests on the chair is messed up. I'm like, seriously, an armrest? So they finally got that fixed and we took off. So we didn't get to leave LAX to probably about 6 o'clock. And so they're 2 hours behind us, of course. So by the time I get to Nashville, it's close to 12 o'clock, close to midnight. But I got on home, and me and Daniel were still communicating and trying to figure out how we can do this meet and greet. And finally, he was like, well, why don't I come to you? And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I said, we can find a restaurant with a private dining area and set up everything where you have security at the door and just invite a few people to come, because it was supposed to be a private meet and greet, just me and him. And I said, well, there's a couple of people that really want, your biggest fans, that I would love to get them to meet you. So we was going to set that up. Well, his management decided that if he was coming this way, that it was going to be a little extra because security would have to be vamped up. And at that point, I was like, no, that's not going to happen. So, long story short, the meet and greet didn't happen, and it was real. So if anybody thinks that I was just saying that just to say it, No, I wasn't. It was going to be a meet and greet with Daniel Ezra, a.k.a. Spencer from All American, but it just didn't happen like I thought it would happen. So hopefully and prayerfully next year we may be able to get another meet and greet set up, and I'll be able to get the proper finances to make this happen, because I do understand that there are costs to have meet and greets with celebrities, because they have to have their security, they have to have everything at the place that the meet and greet is going to happen. It has to be um, checked out. It has to be set up to where, everything's secure. So I understand about the cost. I just didn't have it. Not right now. And I have no regrets, because I actually had a chance to communicate with somebody from a different country. And, I enjoyed that. But like I said, hopefully we can make it happen next year, because I really would like for him to come and speak to the youth in the city, and just speak some good encouraging words to them. Um, I asked him had he spoke to any youth groups, and he said no. He's only been on the radio and on podcasts, so I hope to make that happen. But yeah, this episode here was just to let you know about my trip that I did take, and that the meet and greet that I said I was trying to raise money for was not a fluke. It was real. It just didn't happen right now. And it could have been to where God had some reason it didn't happen right now. So y'all pray for me. Y'all pray with me that it will happen next year. And maybe we can try and get some more celebrities to come down and do meet and greets. I would love to be able to set those up. If anybody like to help, let me know. But right now, that's all I have to say. I will be back reading the Bible stories, but I just wanted to let everyone know about my trip, and that I wasn't telling a story about the meet and greet. It really was supposed to happen. Yep, I'm sad, I'm upset, I'm frustrated, but you know what? God knows, and whatever His will, I'm gonna let Him. I'm gonna let Him have the reins. I'm gonna let Him take control, and if it's to happen, it will. So, with that said, I'm going to bid you all a good night. Sweet dreams. Peace out.